the accidents to overspeeding, reckless driving and impatience. 12 passengers who sustained various degrees of injuries are receiving treatment. Far-reaching and decisive measures are being considered by the federal government towards controlling and containing all criminal activities undermining national security and stability. Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami announced this while briefing journalists after the meeting of the National Security Council. He said when finalized, terrorists, bandits and other criminal gangs will be incapacitated from executing their nefarious activities. State House correspondent Adam Musambu has the report.
The National Security Council meeting summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari reviewed all aspects of the nation's security situation. Apart from the recent attack on the Kuje Medium Custodial Facility in the FCT, the criminal gangs have also not relented in attacking soft targets in parts of the country, abducting people and demanding ransom payment.
We had extensive discussions on every aspect of issues concerning security and insecurity in Nigeria. It shows the concern and the commitment of the federal government to the security of the Nigerian people. That I must emphasize.
Consequently, far-reaching resolutions were developed for consideration arising from the issues critically analyzed. These include the possibility of restricting the use and distribution of motorcycles as the most logistical means being deployed by terrorists, as well as the suspension of mining activities as possible sources of terrorist financing.
The major consideration and the basis for determination of productivity or otherwise is the national interest. We are Nigerians because Nigeria as a country exists. And any issue that at the end of the day will translate to threat on the national security, corporate existence of a country requires for certain sacrifices. So regardless of the means that is being considered for perhaps a possible banning, provided what matters is a sacrifice that will see us through addressing security challenges, I think no sacrifice is too big as far as that issue is concerned. And above all, if you are talking of perhaps banning the motorcycles, for example, I believe the component or perhaps the number of people that could be using the motorcycle in Nigerian state may not be up to 20% of the Nigerian population. So if the 20% of the Nigerian population is called upon to now make certain sacrifices for the purpose of addressing a challenge, a security challenge that is all-pervading, affecting over 200 million Nigerians, that sacrifice, to my mind, is indeed a sacrifice worthy of being considered.
In the meantime, the Interior Minister, Rauf Arebeshola, confirmed that interim report in respect of the ongoing investigation of the attack on Kuje Custodial Center has been forwarded to President Muhammadu Buhari.
We identify all those whose action or inaction led to that unfortunate incident. Whoever was responsible for the failure of defense and security and the breach of that institution or facility will face the consequence.
Mr. President has specifically made mention of the implication of these threats to famine in our country, and he has directed government should take all technological and administrative measures to ensure that our farmers do actually go back to their farms to ensure that we have food in this country to eat and to export.
The National Security Council meeting was the second in 2 weeks and fourth in the year 2022. From the State House, Adam Musambu, NTA News.
Quality medical care to military personnel, especially those in the front line of fighting insurgents. All health facilities under the Ministry of Defense are to be upgraded. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this is in line with presidential directive to reform the military in all aspects.
Nigeria is confronted with emerging and dynamic security challenges in different parts of the country, with the military involved in internal security operations. The quest to suppress these threats requires a highly motivated military, so immediate reforms in the Ministry of Defense has taken off, commencing with the health sector.
The essence is to review the state of our facilities, medical personnel, inadequate equipment, and the parallel health care delivery services with a view to upgrading our facilities, recruiting more personnel, and to boost the morale of the armed forces and the civilians alike.
We are focusing on operational efficiency in order for us to reposition the armed forces health facilities for optimal performance and operational efficiency.
And for us that we can engage.
To the Chief of Defense Staff, health is a critical component in boosting the morale of a military personnel in achieving success on the field.
The most important of the three components of war fighting is the moral component. The conceptual and the physical can only be possible if the moral component is right. And critical to this is healthcare.
The reform entails general review of the military health system and facilities with a view to upgrade the system in line with global standard. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Ad hoc staff of a COVID-19 vaccination center for issuing fake vaccination cards to some international travelers. Security personnel in Abuja has been arrested. The suspect, Dauda Abu Hirera, was caught charging fees from clients and issuing them fake cards without going through the vaccination process at the COVID-19 vaccination site, Wuse General Hospital, Abuja. However, unknown to the suspect, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has put in place a watertight system that is almost impossible to beat. A statement by the head of Public Relations, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Mohammed Huitutu, has warned that mechanisms are firmly on ground to arrest all persons involved in issuing fake COVID-19 vaccination cards anywhere in Nigeria and have them prosecuted in court. Mohammed Huitutu added that a few culprits have been arrested in the past in connection with the offense and are already facing the consequences of their actions. As the fourth quarter of the continuous voter registration exercise will be coming to an end on the 31st of July 2022, citizens have intensified their efforts to register for their permanent voter cards. Kayode Oladosu monitors the activity within the metropolis and brings us the situation report.
With the extension given by the Independent National Electoral Commission for continuous voter registration, registrants within Ibadan Metropolis use the remaining time frame to secure rights to perform their civic responsibility during 2023 general elections. While some are performing the exercise for the first time, it is an avenue for others to relocate their permanent voter cards.
I do this in Taraba State. So when I want to vote now, I will not travel from here down to Taraba State to vote.
I've done the replacement now. My name has been correctly spelled now. So I have the chance and opportunity.
I did it before, many years ago, but I was not able to complete the process.
Highlighting that although eligible voters have the right to be duly registered by the Commission, it is however committed to adherence to stipulated time allowed within the electoral guidelines.
If you go to state office or the local government offices, you see a lot of people, and we have already added more machines to these centers, and as such we are prepared for them. But that notwithstanding, no matter your what we require from people is their patience. Everybody will be attended to as at when due.
INEC has therefore appealed for sustained cooperation and support of Nigerians in its determination to conduct free and fair elections in 2023. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladosu, NTA News.
And now joining me in the studio is the head of Department Voter Education and Publicity, INEC Oyo State, Rosemary Adeniyi. Madam, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
We're talking about continuous voter registration that's presently ongoing at different registration areas, 8,809 across the country.
Yes.
So we know it's important. Can you just shed more light on the importance of the continuous voter registration exercise?
Thank you very much. The voter, the CVR is very, very much important, because if you don't have your PVC, you cannot vote. And as we always say, your vote is your power. So anyone that doesn't have a PVC, that is the permanent voters card, cannot vote in 2023 general elections. And so it's very, very important and germane for everyone to come out to make sure that they are registered, first of all, and then they should make sure they have their PVCs, because we have a lot of PVCs in our offices that have not been collected. And as much as we know, all those people that have just turned 18, they should come out to register. And those people who have not been registered before, if you have never registered before, come out to register. But if you have registered once, please, for God's sake, take the pain to look for your permanent voters card if you have collected one before. And if you have not collected anyone before, but you have registered from 2011 till this moment, make sure that you first of all check your identity. Make sure you check your identity before going out to register. If you go out to register and you have already registered before, maybe for one reason or the other, you were not able to collect your PVC then, or maybe you lost it, or you don't. Some people will just look at the room and say, where is my PVC? They didn't know where they keep it.
Okay, let's take a look at some things. Now we know that the registration is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Now, aside elections, how important is the CVR?
Aside elections, the PVC is mainly for election. We normally, we know that some people normally ask for it in some other places, but mainly the PVC is for voting.
Now, the CVR has been extended a number of times.
Yes.
We are looking at 31st July as the deadline now. What is your assessment of the turnout of people, qualified people at the centers?
Interestingly, you see, I don't know, our people have this syndrome, the 11th hour syndrome. They have that syndrome. You will imagine that when there was no date that the CVR is coming to an end, there are no people in our centers. It will interest you to know that. But just last week, when INEC announced that the exercise is going to close on 31st, suddenly we have the surge. A lot of people have been coming out. It is very good, because we want everybody to be registered, to be a registered voter. And so it is very interesting and it is very good. There is a huge crowd everywhere you go now for the registration. So INEC is already doing all we can to make sure that everybody gets registered.
So we are hopeful, or we should just expect that 31st deadline is the deadline.
Yes.
We shouldn't expect any other extension?
No extension. This is to give INEC the chance to be able to put our things together. You know, we need to prepare for so many things for the election. The abyss needs to be run on the register, and we need to print PVC.
Okay, so we need available machines. You know, there were complaints in the past, inadequate machines, inadequate personnel from INEC. Those things, have you taken care of them?
Of course, it has been taken care of. We have additional machines to take care of the people that are coming out for the registration.
Thank you very much,
You're welcome.
Adili, for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll now pause for some messages. Panorama continues shortly. Don't go away.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Come back. A total of 21,000 police personnel are said to have been deployed for the just concluded Osun governorship election alone, while other sister law enforcement agencies made a similar massive deployment. What is the implication of such a massive deployment for an off-season election when it is unrealistic during a general election, particularly in stemming election violence? Let's find out in this report by correspondent Femi Afariogun.
Osun governorship election has been adjudged by various monitoring groups and observers, both local and international, as better than a Ekiti election. During past election, the country usually record all manners of electoral malpractices. However, the Osun governorship election recorded near zero violence. This is unconnected with the massive deployment of security personnel for the election.
The security arena for the Osun election was adequate and which I think guaranteed the relative peace that we enjoyed.
Well, the era of the past is where you see security misbehaving on election day, but we don't have such reports. And I'm not sure, yeah.
With the focus of INEC now on 2023 general election, what are the chances of having a violence-free election when it is clear that no state can enjoy such a massive deployment of security personnel in 2023?
Before the election, we'll be out to embark on intelligence gathering.
It is doable. It's just that all hands must be on deck now. All the security outfit must form a kind of very strong synergy.
Few days to Osun governorship election, security agencies had identified some flashpoints across the state notorious for crimes and swept on them, which went a long way in achieving a peaceful election. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun.
The Nigerian Customs Service NTA Ogun 1 Area Command has generated 3.4 billion naira revenue between January and June 2022 from seized contraband goods. The area controller Bamidele Makinde stated this at a press briefing in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Yemi Dalimo reports.
Mr. Makinde told journalists that 3,426,707 naira was the total estimated duty paid value of the seizure made during the period under review. He said 1,433 cartons of frozen poultry products, 25,906 bags of foreign parboiled rice of 50 kg each, 140 pieces of used tires, 289 cartons of tomato paste, 258 sacks and 661 laps of cannabis sativa, among other contraband goods, were intercepted from smugglers.
The estimated duty paid value of items seized this year, which is 3.4 billion, is higher than that of last year's record, which was 834 million. That is about 400% increase.
He attributed the success of the command's anti-smuggling offensive to commitment to duty by the operatives and continuous stakeholders engagement, among other strategies. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
And now sports updates with Peter Oyibo.
The Confederation of African Football CAF has named Senegal Sadio Mane and Nigerians Asisat Oshoala as the best players for the 2022 in men and women's categories. Mane edged out Mohamed Salah and fellow national teammate Edu Mendy to emerge winner for the second time, while Oshola won a record 5th time, edging out Camerooners Ajala Ajola and Zambia's Grace Banda.
Exceptional media fifth African Footballer of the Year award is a welcome development for Nigerian sport, especially considering the fact that his performance will not be playing at the final.
Sadio Mane, well deserved, you must say. His performance for club and country has been awesome.
In another development, Team Nigeria have been applauded for their performance at the just concluded Africa Taekwondo G4 Championship in Kigali, Rwanda, where they finished 8th on the medals table with 1 silver and 2 bronze medals in a championship that had 39 countries in contention. British High Commissioner in Nigeria, Katrina Lang, has assured Team Nigeria to the 2022 Commonwealth Games of the best hospitality in Birmingham. Lang was speaking at a reception in Abuja organized by the High Commission in honor of the Nigerian delegation, where she charged them to exceed their previous record at the Games.
If my mind may conceive it, if my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. Go Nigeria!
Our hopes are high on the competition, and we are aiming for the gold.
The Commonwealth Games will run from 28 July to 8 August 2022. With sports update, I am Peter Oibo, NTA News.
That's been panorama from Ibadan's Zonal Center on the network service of the NTA. Remember to stand against rape and rapists. Do have a lovely afternoon.
When you are fasting, you are trying to be closer to God. You are trying to tell God that, yes, I am your child.
I was commanded to obey my mother and worship God and to establish prayers. They are a place that when you come with reverence.
You should tell the believing women that they should lower their grace and guard their modesty.
Until when we meet next time, same station and same time. My name is still Imam Brother DM.
Got the power. The people got the power. Let's rap. I got the power.
I'm going to show you how to wrap a gift and make it look absolutely adorable. Here are some things that I got for wrapping the gift, like the wrapping paper which I got from the supermarket, my sticky tape which is always with me at home, and then some old hair clips that I just found just in case it's going to be useful, my adhesive, a cutter, the gift pack, my berries, size of the gift. Obviously we're going to use just maybe half of this sheet, so cut it in half. Remember, art is all about improvisation, so if you don't have a cutter, you can just get a kitchen knife and then just cut through, or the scissors. Place our gift pack right in the middle of the sheet. You lift. Make sure you have this sharp edge so that the wrapping will be very firm and tight. Then you lift. Here we have a very firm wrap. Make sure you fold it neatly so that you can have this surface very nice and presentable. When folding, try to always create a pattern. Like I just created a pattern with this silver edge. And you stretch, and then we'll begin to fold. Now this wrapping paper is going to be very interesting because we already have the lines, so we don't need to stress ourselves too much when we begin to fold and create the shape of the fan. Fold it this way, just fold it anyhow you want. Just make sure the end process is neat, so we can have something like this, and I bet you it's going to come out really nice. So your hand on it to dry it. If you feel a little bit lazy, you could just place anything. Like you could just place this on it and let it dry. I'm going to get this hair clip for my hair because I want to make the gift pack more personal. So I'm going to uncouple it and then attach it somewhere. Personalize it in this. You turn it around and we'll still go ahead with the personalization process. So our butterfly is going to be somewhere.
Power to the people, with the people got the power.
Let's check your 3D fabric paints to make sure the tip is open, because sometimes they get blocked, and when they get blocked, when you write, the writing gets wobbled. So okay, that means we're good to go.
People with the people got the power. Power to the people, with the people got the power. Let's ride. Power to the people, with the people got the
This is the network service of the NTA.
Sheer adventurism is driving me to go deep into the